welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming, for listening to my podcast, The Female Shaman Stories for Sleep. I'm your host, Sheila Hernandez. Thank you again for tuning in. It's been really such a pleasure to do this podcast as a service to people. And the earlier episodes I was reading from my book, and now I just felt like the time was right to move on to other books. Because it started to put me back into my book and things that I wanted to change. So I'm moving on to one of my main teachers, which is Carlos Castaneda, who passed away but wrote a series of books in the 60s and 70s about his experiences with Don Juan Matis, who is his teacher and part of a shamanic tradition that goes back at least 25 generations in Mexico. One of my teachers, who is not in this tradition, he's more from the southern tradition in Mexico, says that the lucid dreaming tradition in Mexico goes back 26,500 years, and that's a whole cycle on the calendar. The calendar is 5,000 year cycles, so I guess it's around just over 5 cycles, and we're coming into our 6th cycle, the 6th sun. So, and if you are listening to this to try to go to sleep, welcome to you too. I wanted to do this podcast for the part of me that I feel that I share in common with a lot of the world, which is, ever since childhood, which is having trouble falling asleep. But it was part of my journey of becoming a lucid dreamer and beginning to teach lucid dreaming to others in the shamanic tradition. And so I'm grateful for this. This certainly feels like a burden, especially when others tell you how easy it is for them to sleep. And you're like, what? So, lay down, relax, make sure that you aren't driving, or because there are moments where I do sort of meditative hypnosis, self-hypnosis. So just with your breathing, going into other states of consciousness, like a delta state. And you may not want to be operating a 1,000 pound vehicle like a car. So relax. If you are already relaxed, turn off the lights, put your phone down, try to stop scrolling or looking, going down that rabbit hole, and just find a cozy little place for yourself, as a little rabbit of the moon. In Mexico, they say that the rabbit jumped on the moon, and since we try to sleep at night, we work with the moon. Certainly in the lucid dreaming tradition that I'm involved in, and so if you are in the rabbit hole of scrolling, you can stop running down the rabbit hole and find yourself a nice little nest, a nice little rabbit's nest, a little hole in the ground with your little jacket like Peter Rabbit and vest, and I don't know, maybe have a clock like Alice in Wonderland. Put your clock away. That's another great tip for falling asleep. What I tell my sleep clients, which is, don't watch the time. Stay away from, when we don't sleep, we often wake up and we look at the time, oh my gosh, what time is it? I have to get to sleep. That only creates more anxiety in yourself. So try to embrace the notion that it doesn't matter what time it is. You're going to get some rest, and you are a being, a spirit beyond time, which you are. And the book that, and as you dive deeper into these practices, which I hope you will, and I hope to be one of your guides and teachers, you will notice the more that you practice the breath work, it's really just what we call breath work and meditation. But in Mexico it's called shamanism and witchcraft. The more that you practice, the more that, and the more advanced you become, you realize that we are beings beyond time. Once you start to astral project and lucid dream and have out-of-body experiences, you cross time. You see that you can go beyond your own death. And you know, if you dream and you don't remember your dreams, you probably had a little death. Or even if you do remember your dreams, you are in the underworld, the land of the dead. So every night when we fall asleep, we have a little death. And I started to do this, and it's a very, very healing. I started to have teachers and then do it, and then teaching it myself, which is to go into other lifetimes and travel to other lifetimes. And there you really are crossing time. So you are a timeless, immortal soul. And it's important to remember that when we're feeling that pressure, so much pressure to do the opposite thing, the pressure to fall asleep. It's a bit idiosyncratic. But here we are. And 50 to 70 million people in the US alone suffer from it. So it's a very common issue. And so before we go into the book and my commentary, which is sort of like channeling, because I usually start channeling when I read esoteric books, and also a lot of my own book was channeled. I wanted to just talk about a few things related to the last episode. Well, not related, but really related to right now, this moment in time. I'm recording this July 31st, 2021. But I think the way that it feels to me is it's a cycle coming back, and we go into this cycle. So even if you're listening to this later, you might be in this cycle, and we don't all go through things together. But the cycle that I'm referring to is dealing with our emotions and feeling triggered, feeling becoming part of the chaos of other people or the news or things outside of ourselves, which has to do with the internal petty tyrants that I talked about in the last episode, or what a lot of young people call energetic vampires now, all of that. I think it's important to release our emotions. So acknowledging that the emotion is there, and trying to consciously ask yourself, what is the root belief about yourself underneath the emotion? So if you get really triggered and you feel very emotional, and maybe even might have moments where you feel out of control, that your emotions have completely taken over, ask yourself, dive deeply into your feeling, and ask yourself what the belief that was triggered underneath your emotion. And and of course release, and see if that belief is an old belief about yourself. And ask yourself, what can I release or let go so I can move into a new future? Because a couple of my teachers and people that I like have been talking about how we're creating our future now with how we feel today, or in this moment in time. And I think that that's true all of the time. I think we're always the future, first of all, is not set in stone. You know, that is our will. That is our free will. We're always making choices, and those choices affect our destiny, and the way that we feel affects our choices. And that's why in Don Juan, in the last episode, he's always talking about, not always, but he was talking about how a warrior makes decisions, that a warrior analyzes a situation from many different points of view and takes a lot of time considering before they make a decision. But because they took so much time and analyzing and strategizing and looking at the situation from multiple viewpoints, they don't question their decision afterwards, which I think is the harder part for me. And this is related to the next thing I wanted to talk about, which is but getting back to your emotions, just you can say to yourself, I allow myself to release my emotions. And I find it very easy to do that in the earth and with the earth. I feel that when I'm in nature, that the earth somehow wants my emotion, and so it's very easy for me to release. And if you're interested in shamanism, perhaps you feel the same way. And so where I was going with once you make a decision, not doubting it. So this is related to what I wanted to talk about today, outside of the shamanic teachings of Carlos Castaneda and the book The Wheel of Time, is the High Priestess in the Tarot. The High Priestess is the priestess of the Silver Star. She is intuition. She is being able to see out of your third eye chakra. And since this is a lot of my work, I'm an intuitive guide, so I work intuitively, and I try to teach others how to work intuitively with their own self. It's sort of coaching and teaching. It's a new profession, so let's call it teaching. But I do the same thing in my coaching work, which is, so I think that we're all intuitive creatures. All of us have intuition. All of us have insights that go beyond our five senses. We have a feeling. We have a feeling about something. We have a feeling about someone. We have a feeling about a situation, or a job, or a place that you want to go, or a place that you want to live. You just have a feeling. You sort of know something without having read it, and no one else had told you. It comes from inside of you. And even though people talk about the third eye, which is on the center of your forehead, just above your eyes, which is also a wonderful place to focus on if you're trying to meditate. It helps find the in-between space of between your thoughts. But you might be receiving from your third eye and your crown chakra, from the top of your head. You might feel little tickles on the crown, your crown chakra, which happens to me quite a bit, into your, and then you sort of process that information in your third eye. If you don't engage your will, if you are not in any kind of alignment with intent, the force of intent, and also your own personal intent, you will doubt all of the things that you get intuitively. And I think that is something people don't really talk about. Intuitives don't often talk about the doubt aspect. I almost think they don't want to talk about the shadow part of it, but that's why people don't feel that they're intuitive. It's not that they don't have the sensations, it's that they doubt all of their intuition. And we all do. I mean, even everybody does. Everybody doubts their intuition. But you get used to, it's like a muscle, you get used to having faith in your intuitive capabilities, and you get used to, it's not even faith, it's just listening. You get used to that listening to that voice. Oprah Winfrey said at first it's like a tickle, and then it'll go away and you go on with your life, and then it's like a whisper, and then it goes away, and maybe you still don't listen to it, and you say, oh, and then it's like someone speaking very clearly to you, or maybe even loudly, until you pay attention. And you might do that until and then you realize that you're in a pattern. You're in a habitual pattern, which is something that, discovering our patterns and releasing them, that's part of our healing journey. But our intuition helps us in seeing our patterns. Often when we're engaging in an old emotional pattern based off of an old belief about ourselves, your intuition will talk to you and will be like, hey, are you sure this is a good idea? Are you sure? Hey, pay attention. And maybe we just have to go through it again and have that experience again, and have the experience of heartbreak or loss again, and we will continue, and then we'll heal, and then maybe we'll do it again, or maybe we won't. And that's the exciting part about being creators of our future. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll do something different. And then as you grow, other things will come up. But, no matter who you are, things come up. If you don't go looking for trouble, trouble will find you, is the saying. But I think that you get used to seeing, and you get used to navigating and maneuvering the more challenging experiences, and also not taking it personally, which is why I wanted to start to read this book of Carlos Castaneda, because the idea, so the ancient shamans of Mexico said that they could see the energy of a human being as a luminous egg, as a luminous egg with white fibers made of fine spider webbish cotton fibers, white fibers. And that when you begin to see, you see that, that we are all, that sort of nothing matters except our energy. And that if these inorganic beings are here amongst us, like, we're certainly not alone as conscious beings on the planet. They exist, and not to be afraid, not at all, because fear will get you stuck. Fear will put you in a place of inaction. That's the same thing as being stuck. And watch yourself when you get afraid, how your body reacts. You're watching a scary movie, your body gets tense, doesn't want to move. You're inert, you're immobile, you're stuck. So it's quite the opposite, not to be afraid, but to realize that everybody is in their own dream. That is reality, the reality of the five senses. And everybody has their own story. And that is a way of staying centered and remaining solid in the chaos and not being moved by the energy or conversations of others. And then the next step is to start to create the dream that you want to live and creating your own narrative. Yes, just keep flushing and clearing and releasing. And a beautiful thing about allowing our emotions to come in and releasing them, and we can do a very simple meditation together. So you can close your eyes if you're not already asleep. Close your eyes and relax your bones, your muscles, your tendons, deeper and deeper into the earth, falling deeper and deeper into the earth and feeling supported by the earth. And you can look in your third eye, but then move down your body into your throat, into your heart center, and come into your heart center. Feel the air on your chest. Feel the mattress or cushion underneath your back. Come into your beautiful rose-colored, maybe diamond-shaped heart center. In the chakras, I imagine when I heal my own chakras and work with the chakras of others in my work, I imagine them to be multidimensional. And so they can come in shapes of gems and in possible shapes that I can only grasp in my mind's eye because I've never seen them. So it could be like a hedron, and we can make it pink, like a rose quartz. And we're coming into our beautiful, light, shining rose quartz hedron that maybe looks like a flower, coming into our heart chakra and allowing whatever you're feeling to exist there, to be nurtured, to be held, whatever emotion that you're feeling. If you're feeling any anxiety or sadness or despair or boredom, just holding that emotion, honoring it, not judging it, like a mother holding the emotion like a mother holds her baby child. And then allowing the emotion to be released throughout your body and into the earth and back into the earth. And that is one of your seeds, one of the ways that we very dynamically interact with the Earth Mother. We are the children of the earth, and just like little children, we cry and we're upset and we get mad and frustrated and we want the things that we want. And the earth, I think sort of looks at us as I don't just think this, I feel this way. That the earth nurtures us and accepts all of our emotions doesn't judge us. Let's take a deep breath. Releasing the emotion deep into the earth. And upon your inhalation, allowing the joy and the light and the magic, if any, come up. And this can take a few days. But as things are speeding up on an energetic and spiritual level, which is why me and so many other people have sort of come out of our spiritual closet, and maybe you are as well. The healing is happening faster and faster. Things are happening faster. And so if you are feeling a bit low or blue or any of those things, or grief, take some time, take even a few days, and see if you really release consciously those emotions. See how afterwards, how much lighter you might feel, and how maybe magical things can start to come in because you make room. My Aztec dance teacher says, one of the positive things she says, because she's quite stern, is she has like a bag or a basket, and she says you have to empty your basket and you have to empty your bag in order for new things to come in. And I love this because it's so much how we operate emotionally. We have to allow the emotions out, to release them with consciousness, not just release it in anger or in a reactive way, but consciously releasing them with love and care, and quite frankly with humility. All of the work that we do, the energy work that we do in the shamanic traditions is very humbling, because working with the earth, you can't help but be humbled. Because the earth is so humble, and you have it's an exchange, it's a relationship, it's an environment, and we're so affected by our environment. And when you think of it that way, we're so lucky to be here. We're so lucky to be on the planet, because the earth really is such a humble planet, such a humble place to live. So much abundance, so much love, there's so much to eat, there's so many things just grow out of the ground and we can eat it. I think with our technology, we're a little out of balance because we're forgetting the basics, which is there's plenty of abundance here, and we don't have to live in fear of scarcity. But we're in a period of transition, and I have high hopes that things are changing, and you already see it. People are starting to live differently. And you certainly see it with the local farm sustainability movement in the CSA, Community Sustained Agriculture. And okay, so my last point before we move into the book is just about the energy meditation of your energetic body, of cultivating the practice, which is very much a part of my practice. Seeing your energetic body from another perception point. And because, and it's just to support this or reify this, acknowledge that you're never going to see yourself quite as other people see you. The beauty in you, the beauty that is you, we perhaps will never see. with our eyes, but we can see it through our energy work, and it does get easier. You know, the more you practice it, the more you really start to see yourself as this incredibly beautiful, luminous being. And it's not just outer beauty. Our beauty really comes from within. It comes quite literally from our energy. And so when you start working on your energy, which probably many of you do in your rituals of lighting a candle, lighting the sage or the palo santo or the incense, or doing your breath work, doing meditations, dancing, your creativity, all of those things help refine your energetic body and sculpt your energetic body to your beautiful human form. And our human form is really beautiful. So next time, which I might do it again at the end here, we go into the subconscious and into the place where we are by ourselves in the subconscious, and we see ourselves as an energetic form. I really want you to embrace, acknowledge, and enjoy and celebrate the beauty that is you. You, your body, your face, your energetic body. And that came to me from my own energy work. And then I started to do it with other people, and I've had there have been some amazing results. It can change your life, just accepting your own beauty, and that your own beauty is beyond anything that you can imagine or see. It's incredible. So, let's get into our book. So, if you're not asleep already, lay down and light a candle or turn out the lights and just relax into your pillow. You might want to turn over your pillow on the cool side, or you might want to lay on the cool side of the bed. And if you're feeling especially agitated, you might want to pause and then get up and do something else. Get into your body, bring your consciousness into your body and out of your mind, and then come back. And come back into a nice, cool, comfortable place on your bed or futon or wherever you are, or your mat. Or floor. So, page 46 from The Wheel of Time by Carlos Castaneda, The Shamans of Ancient Mexico, Their Thoughts About Life, Death, and the Universe. And this particular excerpt is from the book A Separate Reality, which I encourage you to read. So, number 46. Nothing being more important than anything else, a warrior chooses any act and acts it out as if it mattered to him. His controlled folly makes him say that what he does matters and makes him act as if it did, and yet he knows that it doesn't. So when he fulfills his acts, he retreats in peace. And whether his acts were good or bad, or worked or didn't, is in no way part of his concern. Page 47. A warrior may choose to remain totally impassive and never act, and behave as if being impassive really mattered to him. he would be rightfully true at that, too, because that would also be his controlled folly. Page 48. There's no emptiness in the life of a warrior. Everything is filled to the brim. Everything is filled to the brim, and everything is equal. Page 49. An average man is too concerned with liking people, or with being liked himself. A warrior likes, that's all. He likes whatever or whomever he wants, for the hell of it. Page 50. A warrior takes responsibility for his acts, for the most trivial of his acts. An average man acts out his thoughts, and never takes responsibility for what he does. This is an interesting thing about the idea of taking responsibility for your acts. This is a huge turning point, I think, in anybody's life. Page 51. The average man is either victorious or defeated, and depending on that, he becomes a persecutor or a victim. These two conditions are prevalent as long as one does not see. See is in not parentheses, but I came into a channeling space and forgot my word. I'll remember. Seeing dispels the illusion of victory or defeat or suffering. Seeing being able to see energy. A warrior knows that he is waiting and what he is waiting for. And while he waits, he wants nothing, and thus whatever little thing he gets is more than he can take. If he needs to eat, he finds a way, because he is not hungry. If something hurts his body, he finds a way to stop it, because he is not in pain. To be hungry or to be in pain means that the man is not a warrior. The forces of his hunger and pain will destroy him. It's a subtle point. Denying oneself is an indulgence. The indulgence of denying is by far the worst. I love this one. It forces us to believe that we are doing great things, when in effect we are only fixed within ourselves. Page 54. Intent is not a thought, or an object, or a wish. Intent is what can make a man succeed when his thoughts tell him that he is defeated. It operates in spite of the warrior's indulgence. Intent is what makes her invulnerable. Intent is what sends a shaman through a wall, through space, to infinity. When a man embarks on the warrior's path, he becomes aware, in a gradual manner, that ordinary life has been left forever behind. The means of the ordinary world are no longer a buffer for him, and he must adopt a new way of life if he is going to survive. Every bit of knowledge, page 56, every bit of knowledge that becomes power has death at its central force. Death lends the ultimate touch, and whatever is touched by death indeed becomes power. Page 57. Only the idea of death makes a warrior sufficiently detached so that he or she is capable of abandoning him or herself to anything. She or he knows her death is stalking her and won't give her time to cling to anything, so she tries without craving all of everything. We are women and men, and our lot is to learn and to be hurled into inconceivable new worlds. A warrior who sees energy knows that there is no end to the new worlds for our vision. Page 59. Death is a twirl. Death is a shiny cloud over the horizon. Death is me talking to you. Death is you and your writing pad. Death is nothing. Nothing. It is here, yet it isn't here at all. Page 61. The spirit of a warrior is not geared to indulging or complaining, nor is it geared to winning or losing. The spirit of a warrior is geared only to struggle, and every struggle is a warrior's last battle on earth. Thus, the outcome matters very little to him or her. In her last battle on earth, a warrior lets her spirit flow free and clear. And as she wages her battle, knowing that her intent is impeccable, a warrior laughs and laughs. Page 56. I started working with intent a few years ago, and it changed my life. It brought me a lot of sustenance and abundance. So I think I call it earth perception, but it seems to be real. We talk to ourselves page 61. We talk to ourselves incessantly about our world. In fact, we maintain our world with our internal talk. And whenever we finish talking to ourselves about ourselves and our world, the world is always as it should be. We renew it. We rekindle it with life. We uphold it with our internal talk. Not only that, but we also choose our paths as we talk to ourselves. Thus, we repeat the same choices over and over until the day we die, because we keep on repeating the same internal talk over and over until the day we die. A warrior is aware of this and strives to stop his internal talk. Page 62. The world is all that is encased here. Life, death, people, and everything else that surrounds us. The world is incomprehensible. We won't ever understand it. We won't ever unravel its secrets. Thus, we must treat the world as it is, a sheer mystery. Page 63. The things that people do cannot, under any conditions, be more important than the world. And thus a warrior treats the world as an endless mystery, and what people do as an endless folly. Okay. We'll stop there, and we'll do a short meditation. If you're still awake and are trying to sleep and not just listening, or just want to relax deeper into your conscious mind, into your, maybe I should say the consciousness of your mind. So diving deeper into the subconscious states. Close your eyes. If you're thinking a lot in your monkey mind, as they call it, or you're in Spanish, we say haciendo vueltas. If your mind is doing flips, and I like to think of the mind doing backflips as your thoughts repeat and turn over themselves. You can also think of it as playing a tape, or putting on the same old record or same playlist. It's all the same. When you start to notice, as you begin to cultivate inner silence through what we call meditation or mindfulness, you notice the patterns of your mind that we recreate, we conjure the same thoughts over and over again. And that is part of our journey in this process. With the silence we cultivate, it leaves, and we release the patterns, new thoughts and ideas, new realities, new constructs of realities come in. You could also call it magic, because that really is magic. That new sparkly joy of being a participant in your future, in your reality, which you most certainly are. So, with your eyes closed, you can turn your eyes inward towards your nose and then tilt them up towards your forehead and to your third eye. This is also a Mayan lucid dreaming posture of an eye, and also in the Hindu tradition, they also use this posture with your eyes closed and crossed and tilted up, looking into your third eye. And take a deep breath. Inhaling the transformative light of our nearest star, which is the sun, and exhaling any negative creations deep into the earth through your mouth. Wonderful. Inhale again the transformative light of our star. Filling up your lungs with that star energy that remains inside of you, dormant or active. Maybe activating it so that you feel the light in your body, in your energetic body, lightening yourself. And then exhale deep into the center of the earth, anchoring you into the red and black soil of the earth, feeling its support. So your anchor is just the support underneath you. You still are your flesh and bone being of blood and tissue and light and muscle and tendons. Then the amazing being that you are, that is in the physical reality, is supported by the earth at this moment and every day of your life. Inhale again the transformative light of the star, of our sun, which is also your heart energy, so you might be able to connect it to your heart energy. And you can re-listen to our heart meditation at the beginning of the podcast. And then exhaling deep into the earth, connecting deeper and deeper, allowing any negative creations, thoughts or emotions to be surrendered deep into the earth's core. Maybe even where the lava is, beyond the lava into the molten core. And allow it to transform into fire. And allowing your heart to be inflamed by our star. Inhaling into your heart space, expanding your heart, allowing it to become light or crystalline, seeing the white or rose or gold light fill up your entire chest, from the front of your chest to the back of your chest, feeling your spine make its adjustments to make room for your cosmic heart energy. Our heart energy is related to the cosmos, as we are, as souls. And then exhaling any negative creations deep into the earth. Feeling yourself grounded as that cosmic being. And now imagine yourself in a forest or a canyon, or a stream, or a river valley, or a grove of trees, or a redwood grove, or an oak grove, where they used to have festivals, spring festivals, and run around and play and chase each other, and maybe have sex in the forest, I don't know. That's the collective consciousness. Let's come back to our own individual consciousness. In this place on the earth, this is just your place. It's just for you. It's created by you. It's protected by you. It is your love incarnate. It is your self-love. So populate it with flowers, with your animal totems, with trees, your favorite trees, your favorite kind of grass. It could be Easter grass, or it could be moss, or maybe you're on a blanket, one of your favorite blankets from home, and you're having a lovely time. You are in complete content, bliss. Everything is taken care of. You have a sense of being complete. There is absolutely nothing and nowhere else for you to be, or to go, or to do. You are smelling the smells of fresh air. Maybe you can hear the stream or the river, or you can hear birds singing and chirping and talking to each other. You can see, maybe you see the Grand Canyon. That's one that comes to me. You can see the birds, maybe a condor flying through the canyon, gliding, barely moving the wings, just maybe tilting the wings a little bit to maneuver the air current. And in this place, we take a deep breath together, using that star energy that we connected to in the sun, and as we exhale, shining light in this place. Shining our own inner light upon this place that is wholly ours, this cosmic and earthbound place inside of us, this space which is ours, which nurtures us, that follows us, our true home in many ways, the home beyond home, the home beyond the home of your body, even beyond the home of your house. And in this place is your seat of power. And you find peace here. And really, so take another deep inhalation and try to see the outline of your form, of your energetic body. See it as a white light. And it should look something like your form, your body. Really try to see the edges of your nose, of your forehead. See that white light, your chin, your cheeks, your shoulders. See yourself as an energetic form. And it is you in your most beautiful essence, your most beautiful form, your divine form. This is your energetic body. And breathe strength and life and healing and repair into this body. Inhale, transforming and growing and healing the light within you. Exhaling, sustaining it. Gaining power from the energy of your planet, of our earth. Having that earth power hold you, repair you, heal you, make you strong as the earth is strong, making you abundant as the earth is abundant. Helping you maintain and strengthen your life force as the earth holds life force. Inhale again. Allowing that light to grow and expand and to fill your entire energetic body, and exhale, release. And we're coming to the end of our time here. So I invite you to continue breathing light into your energetic body in the realm of your subconscious, and to stay here as long as you can until you fall asleep or until you do something else. And it's been a pleasure to have you here with me. Thank you again so much for listening and for listening to this whole hour. I appreciate you and send you love and send people in your life love and send you support for loving the people in your life and being that love and light worker that you are in your own life. And if you have questions for me or want to know more about my work or want to take classes or are interested in getting a reading or doing readings for other people, you can contact me at sheilahernandez.com. Okay, or I'll just sign you up for my newsletter. So thanks again, and I'll see you next week. Sending lots of love and light. Bye. Good night.